Hey everybody, my expert group. Thank you for tuning in. My expert group on standard form of a line, which is right here in your title. So the standard form of a line is given by, there we go, A times X plus B times Y equals C. So this is the form of a line that you're going to become experts on. So let's look at what the reading says here. It says using standard form to graph by the X and Y intercepts. So you'll be learning how to do that. You'll be transforming standard form to slope-intercept form. You will be transforming slope-intercept form to standard form, and transforming point slope form to standard form. Now some of these, actually, some of this terminology like slope intercept form, you might not know what that is yet, and point slope form. The other expert groups are going to be teaching you about these things, but it's not, in my examples here for you guys today, it's not going to affect what you're doing. So let's look into the important information. Important information, first bullet, it says AX plus BY equals C, where A, B, and C are integers, and A must be greater than 0. So that's putting some restrictions on our standard form, everyone. This part, A must be greater than 0, is telling me that this guy right here in the front cannot be negative. If a number is greater than 0, then that number is always positive. So A must be a positive. You got to keep that in mind. You might want to jot that down. And the A, the B, and the C all have to be integers. Now, integers are your whole numbers, both negative and positive and 0. So integers, so I'm just going to write here no fractions. No fractions, no decimals. These guys in the front here, the A, the B, and the C have to be whole numbers. Okay, and finally here, standard form is useful if you want to graph the X and Y intercepts. So let's take a look at example 1. So, oh, one other thing. I want to teach you a little trick. And you might want to teach, when you teach this to your group, little trick to remember AX plus BY equals C. I know a lot of the guys anyway, I don't know if they make any, I don't think they make any for girls, but you know the line of cologne, the Axe body spray, the Axe body cologne? There's like 100 different scents nowadays. Well, look at this. Doesn't that kind of look like the word Axe body cologne? So Axe and body are on one side being added together, and then cologne is on the opposite side of the equal sign. So standard form is given by Axe body cologne. I don't know if that'll help you remember it. It helped some students in years past. Okay, so let's look at example 1. It says graph X minus 3Y equals 6 by finding the X and the Y intercepts. Okay, well the first thing I want you to notice is that this equation right here that you're given is in standard form. See the Axe? And it's like a 1x, 1x. Remember that the guy in the front had to be a positive number, and it is 1x. Minus 3y, there's Axe body, and here's cologne, 6. So we've got 3 integers, 1, -3, and 6. No fractions, no decimals, and the A is positive. So this is in standard form. And when you have an equation in standard form, it is very easy to find the intercepts. Here's why. Let's take it, X minus 3Y equals 6. So on this side, with this arrow, we're going to find the Y intercept. And then over here, we'll go ahead and find the X intercept. And this is review. We've done this before. So to find the Y intercept, we simply let X be 0. And to find the X intercept, we simply let Y be 0. And then we solve. So I know that my ordered pairs here can start writing those a while. So if x is 0, this will be 0. And here if y is 0, this will be 0. Now we just have to do the math in between. So using our equation here, let's let x be 0. So if x is 0, we're going to have 0 minus 3y is equal to 6. And this just goes away. So we have negative 3y equals 6. And to solve for y, we divide both sides by negative 3. So y is equal to negative 2. So that's what slides there. 0, negative 2 is the y-intercept. So let's go ahead and plot that. 0, negative 2, right here. Okay, now for the x-intercept. We let the y be 0. Go back to the original equation. X minus 3 times 0 equals 6. And that goes away, so we just are left with x equals 6. So 6, 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 0. So there's a graph of our line by finding the x and y intercepts from standard form. And when an equation's in standard form, it's really easy to find the intercepts because either your x term or your y term will fall out to 0, and then you're either left with just y or just x. So standard form's really nice when you want to graph the intercepts. Okay, let's flip the page. We have 3 more examples in this lesson. Example 2 says, a review of literal equations. Now, if you remember, this is the lesson that I taught in a British accent because literal equations very fancy. And when you have to solve a fancy equation, it's going to have lots of letters in it. So that's what we'll be doing here. So I'll stay in my voice. It says x minus 3y equals 6, and we're supposed to solve for y. We're supposed to solve for y. So I'm going to stop doing that accent. I'm going to crack myself up. So let's draw our bar here. So we need to solve this standard form, because that's what it is, Axe body cologne. We're going to solve it for y. So here it is. Here's y. We want to get y alone. So the first thing I'm going to do is subtract x from both sides. When I subtract x from both sides, I cancel these out. And what slides down here is a negative 3y, don't lose the negative, is equal to. Now, I could write this side as 6 minus x. But because I'm the teacher and I know where we're headed next, I'm actually going to put the x first. So I'm going to write this as negative x, positive 6. Negative x plus 6. And I can't put them together because they're not like terms. The 6 doesn't have an x with it. Okay, so now we're almost there. We almost solved for y. We just have to divide by negative 3 here. I'm going to divide by negative 3 here, and also here. Everybody gets divided by negative 3. These cancel to 1. So y equals. Now, a negative divided by a negative is a positive, and because there's a 1 right there, I'm going to call this positive 1/3 x minus 2, because 6 divided by negative 3 is negative 2. So this is the literal equation solved for y. Okay? Example 3 says, transform, that means change, y equals negative 3/4 x plus 2 into standard form. So we want to take this equation and make it look like this. Axe body cologne. Well, the problem is we got body on this side with the y, but we got axe on this side. So we're going to have to move the furniture around. What I need to do is get axe in the front. The easiest way to get the x term in the front is to move it over to this side. So instead of, because I have a negative 3/4 x, I'm going to add 3/4 x to both sides, like so. That is going to cancel those out. And look at the order I'm going to do. I can't combine these because they're not like, so I'm going to write it as 3/4 x plus y equals 2. See, now I have axe, body, cologne. Now, the stipulation on the front side was that A, B, and C all had to be integers with no fractions. So I need to get rid of this fraction right here. And the easiest way to get rid of a fraction that is a coefficient to one of your variables is to take the entire equation, put parentheses around it, because whatever I do to one term, I have to do to everybody, multiply by the denominator here of your fraction, 4. So let's multiply all of this by 4, which is going to require me to distribute here, here, and here. So 4 times 3/4, if you put that in your calculator or do it in your head, these 4's cancel out and you have 3x plus 4 times y is 4y, and 4 times 2 is 8. And this is standard form. You did it. Okay, one more. It's another transform. So transform or change y equals 5/2x minus 2/9 to standard form. Again, axe, body, cologne. All right? So here you see the y's over here. So we've got body, but we need axe in the front. So let's move the 5/2x over to the left by subtracting it from both sides. Okay? So these will drop. Now I want axe in the front, so I have negative 5/2x plus y, negative 5/2x and a positive y equals negative 2/9. Okay, so first problem, the guy that's in front of the x, which is the a, he has to be positive, not negative. So the first step is let's make him a positive. The only way to do that is to throw parentheses around here, and let's multiply by a -1. So we're going to go here, here, and here, multiplying everybody by -1. So a negative times a negative is a positive 5/2x. Negative times positive, -1 times y is negative y. And -1 times -2/9 is positive 2/9. Awesome. Now we have a positive a. The second stipulation is that we are not allowed to have fractions, no fractions. And we've got 2 of them right now. So the easiest way to clear these is to multiply the entire equation by a number that both 2 and 9 go into. So think of a number that both 2 and 9 divide into. The smallest one would have to be 18. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take 18 times 5/2, 18 times y, and 18 times 2/9. So 18 times 5/2. Well, 2 goes into 18 9 times. 9 times 5 is 45x minus 18 times y is 18y. And 18 times 2/9 is 4, I believe. And so, and you can put those in your calculator or do them in your head. It's up to you. But there you have it. That is your standard form, axe, body, cologne. This is positive, and we have no fractions. Good job. So your job is going to be a master on this and explain it to your peers in one of the upcoming days. Thanks for watching.